In 1935, our founder Francesco Illy realized that working with pressure was the key to making great espresso coffee. He understood that by reducing heat and increasing pressure, he could produce a rounder, richer, and more flavorful coffee. This invention and moment of pure intuizione is at the origin of the modern espresso coffee machine. Over 80 years later, data help us work with the pressures of serving 8 million coffees a day, climate change affecting our growers' land, and increasing competition on every corner. What's exciting is that with the right intelligence and energy to act, we can stay true to our ethics and responsibilities while offering the greatest coffee to the world. With Oracle, we can do magical things no matter what the pressures are.
Please welcome Larry Ellison.
Hi, everybody. Well, this afternoon, I'm going to talk about the progress we've made with Fusion applications, the Fusion Applications Suite, a very large suite of applications where each application is engineered to work with each other. We spent the last 12, 13 years rewriting all of our applications for the cloud. And as we had an opportunity to re-engineer all of our applications, we ensured not only that they worked with each other, but they also fully integrated into our second generation cloud, taking advantage of all of the capabilities in that underlying cloud. This makes it different than any other cloud application suite. We actually have two suites of cloud applications. Both of them engineered specifically for and written specifically for the cloud, both Fusion and NetSuite. I know Evan Goldberg's already talked a little bit about NetSuite at OpenWorld, and I'm going to talk a little bit about Fusion. Now, the combination of Fusion and NetSuite makes Oracle the overwhelming market leader in cloud ERP. In cloud ERP, we have combined about 25,000 customers. In second place in the cloud, in ERP is Workday, and these are Workday's numbers. These aren't my numbers for Workday, these are Workday's numbers for Workday. They have a few hundred cloud ERP systems. So we have a really large share of the market in cloud ERP, and we're actually increasing that market share over the last couple of years. We've also passed Workday in number of HCM cloud customers. So we're actually now not only number one, but it's very close. I mean, in that case, it's very, very close. In the case of ERP between Oracle and Workday, it's not remotely close. But we're also number two. We're number two in customer experience behind Salesforce.com. We are Salesforce's primary competitor in cloud sales automation. We are Salesforce's primary competitor in service automation. We really have the most complete suite for front office and back office, all of it written specifically for the cloud, and all of it taking full advantage of the underlying Generation 2 cloud capabilities that it's built on. We just have more applications, more features, more functions than any other suite of applications in the cloud or on-premise. We have more applications, features, and functions than our on-premise product called the Business Suite. We have more applications, features, and functions than SAP's on-premise applications, or SAP's new hosted applications, not cloud, but hosted applications called S/4HANA. We have a lot more capability, a lot more features, a lot more functions. On top of that, and maybe even a bigger differentiator, we are the only suite of cloud applications built upon true cloud infrastructure. We're the only cloud applications company that's also in the cloud infrastructure business. The other application companies are not. So we have two businesses. Our infrastructure business, where we develop things like the autonomous database, taking advantage of machine learning, where we develop advanced analytics, taking advantage of machine learning. We have all of these capabilities at the infrastructure level. We built as I'll talk about, we built a digital assistant, a voice-enabled digital assistant, voice UI, all enabled by machine learning. That means all of our applications now have voice interfaces. That means our analytics can discover anomalies, providing actionable insights, things that you can actually do, because it's layered on top, all that's layered on top of our Generation 2 cloud, which is very rich in technology. There is no other, SAP doesn't have an infrastructure cloud. Workday does not have an infrastructure cloud. Salesforce does not have an infrastructure cloud. It's a fundamental difference between Oracle and all of our application competitors. All right, more modules, more features, more functions than anybody in financials, financial accounting, but also enterprise performance management. In HR, now human resources, talent management, recruiting, these used to be in separate products. You used to have to buy a separate recruiting product, a separate talent management product, a separate HR product. Now we have all of that, all of those features, all of those functions integrated into Oracle HCM. Supply chain manufacturing, we continue, by the way, we continue to add features and functions and modules and capabilities to our cloud. In manufacturing, we started out with discrete manufacturing. Well, today I'll be announcing that we're adding process manufacturing and mixed mode manufacturing, a combination of discrete and process. Project manufacturing. All sorts of additional capabilities continuously added to our suite of applications, and all sorts of technologies added to our underlying infrastructure cloud. Like the applications are just now in the process of being moved to the autonomous database. As we make our database better, as we make it more secure, as we make it faster, the applications automatically inherit all of those capabilities. There is no other application supplier that can offer that. When you want to extend our applications, our infrastructure offers you a comprehensive development environment, not a simple tool for extensions, but we give you a complete development environment. You use the same development environment when you make an extension to our applications that we use when we build the applications. All of the testing facilities, all of the source control facilities, it's a complete IDE. Nobody has this other than someone in the infrastructure business. Amazon has that, has development environments. Microsoft has development environments. Google has development environments, but Salesforce doesn't, Workday doesn't, and SAP doesn't. All right. By the way, all of these applications that I'm showing you on the first page, all of them we built from scratch over the last 12, 14 years. Built from scratch and aimed at the cloud. Now, field service, for example, is one we bought. It was called TOA, a brilliant development team in Europe. They had the best field service product. We went out and acquired it, but we didn't stop there. That engineering team has now been moving the TOA product to our Gen 2 cloud. It will be among the first applications using the full capabilities of the autonomous database. It's now running on the Gen 2 cloud. So when we acquire an application and we decide that's strategic, like field service, we then invest the necessary engineering to make it run on top of OCI, to make it run on top of the autonomous database, to give it a voice user interface with our digital assistant, to take advantage of machine learning, to take advantage of the analytics cloud. We integrate it with all of the underlying technologies, which gives us, again, a huge competitive advantage. So field service works with Fusion accounting. They work together, and they use the same technologies. They're engineered to work with each other, and they're engineered to work on top of and fully exploit under our Gen 2 cloud technology. All right, so because our Fusion applications are built on our Gen 2 cloud, and our Gen 2 cloud is secure, the database is secure, the cloud is secure. You know, we have those perimeter control computers I talked about on Monday. There is no human labor, so there's no human error in our database. Our applications are built on a very secure Gen 2 cloud, but the applications themselves have their own kind of security. So it's multi-layers of security. At the core, we have hardware that keeps perimeter control computers that keep anyone from intruding, that keep threats out, and if a threat gets in, keeps the threat from spreading. We have the autonomous database, which automatically tunes itself, that automatically patches itself without downtime. That means if we put in a database patch, your application is not down. Your application is not down. But the applications themselves will check anomalous things. Again, we have machine learning built into the application that we use for security. So we find an anomaly that Safra Katz has just logged on from the Ukraine at 4 a.m., and she wants to take a close look at our financial results the day, 48 hours before we announce them. She's also online with her broker. So we think, no, wait a minute, no, I don't know. I saw Safra at the office today. I don't see how she got to the Ukraine, even though she does use a private plane. And so I don't think that happened. Yeah, I don't think that happened. So we have security at the applications level as well that take advantage of machine learning to find those data anomalies. Excuse me. I would just like to take a moment and say how much I miss Mark Hurd, personally. And we worked together for a long time. I love him, and I wish him a speedy recovery. Okay, I don't have so many friends that I can afford to lose any, so it's my problem. So, okay, all right. All right, I'll try to get back to the presentation. All right, give me a second. All right, so Oracle is in the cloud applications business. Oracle's in the cloud infrastructure business. Very, very interesting. Let me tell you, when we acquired NetSuite, NetSuite, it turns out, had this multi-tenancy capability built into its applications. Well, that's not the right place for multi-tenancy capability. When you put multi-tenancy in the application, it creates a huge security problem. Though, if that's the only place you can do it and you're in the cloud, you have no choice. So Salesforce has multi-tenancy in the applications, NetSuite had multi-tenancy applications, but now that NetSuite is on our Gen 2 cloud, they're taking multi-tenancy out of the application, getting rid of that, so it's fully secure, and using the multi-tenant capability of the underlying database. It's a big deal. And it's fundamental. You saw where NetSuite didn't have that capability before. Now it has the ability to use the multi-tenant capability of the underlying database. The Gen 2 infrastructure is just as important to our application progress in the applications as adding more capabilities to the applications themselves. We have a true cloud. We have compute, we have storage, we have an autonomous database, machine learning. Again, we compete with Google and Amazon and Microsoft in that space. But those are not our competitors. Google and Microsoft and Amazon are not our competitors in the enterprise application space. All right, Salesforce, given credit, built their applications from the ground up specifically for the cloud. And they were very early, they've been doing this for a long time. And so they built multi-tenancy into the application. They had no choice, they had no underlying platform that supported that. So they built multi-tenancy capability into the application. It's all they could do. Of course, Salesforce customers wanted to make extensions to the Salesforce apps. Of course, Salesforce customers wanted to integrate the Salesforce apps with things like Oracle ERP or SAP ERP. So they had to build some kind of capability to allow people to write programs, write small extensions to Salesforce. And Salesforce put that up, and it's called Force.com. But Force.com is a highly proprietary, kind of limited functionality for just extensions and just integrations. But they have it. And they built it out of necessity. Workday, which also built their applications specifically for the cloud, has no capability like Force.com and no underlying cloud. But Workday's way better than SAP, who somehow forgot to rewrite their applications for the cloud. They bought some cloud applications, but literally, that's 35-year-old code that has not been rewritten. What SAP did, instead of rewriting their applications for the cloud, what SAP decided to do was, hey, we really don't like Oracle, and we don't like the Oracle database, so we want to replace the Oracle database, throw it out, and we'll give you an SAP database called HANA. So we want you to move to the same old applications you had before, but now they're running on HANA. And that's what they spent all this time doing, building HANA and moving their applications from Oracle to HANA. It's the same old code. Nothing's been rewritten. Nothing's been rewritten. They don't have cloud ERP applications, and they certainly don't have a cloud platform. We think that's a huge opportunity for us. Thank you, SAP, for doing that, actually. All right, so as I said on Monday, what separates a second-generation cloud from what came before is machine learning. And machine learning is that revolutionary new technology that enables things like autonomy. It enables things like computer vision. So not only does the computer take a look at you and see you and say, let you use your smartphone, but the computer will talk to you, you can talk to the computer. So it enables modern voice UIs. It enables, and we have one. We built, and which I'll talk about, a digital assistant, an enterprise digital assistant, where you can talk to all of our applications. You can simply say, give me sales quarter to date, and it shows up on your smartphone. And I can say, share this with Safra and Mark. And they get it in their feed, in their information feed from the digital assistant. It really does that. And if the sales are not as good as I would like, I can then ask questions. So not only is it information sharing by voice, it's also a lot of our analytic tools. We think of them as analysis. You take a look at this and you discover an insight and you think about it. But we're very proud that the insights are actionable, right? We show you something and say, wow, and you want to do something. Well, sometimes if you're the chief technology officer, you can't do anything. No one works for you, and all you do is make presentations once or twice a year. But you can call the CEO, and they can actually do something. or the head of sales, then they can actually do something. So my actionable insight, I look at something and I'll say, Safra, have you seen this? You know, Mark, have you seen this? You know, Edward, have you seen this? You're looking at engineering schedules. So suddenly, our analytic tools are giving you information, surprising you sometimes with information, and enabling you to communicate with people who can actually do something about it and collaborate with a team. And I mean, it's all very cool stuff. In fact, one of the things that happens is the people you routinely collaborate with start getting stuff out of your information feed. As the analytics system begins to recognize patterns in your behavior, who do you collaborate with? Who do you share this information with? And they make sure those people get the information at the same time you do. I mean, it's a very big deal. Our analytics, suddenly you can find your best performing employees, hire your recruits in priority order, detect fraud, like that really wasn't Safra in the Ukraine, I don't think so. And all sorts of things with modern machine learning based analytics, advanced analytics. And I've said this before, your data's safe. You got layers of security in the applications, in the database, in the underlying cloud infrastructure. All right. We've had incredible growth over the last 5 years. The big jump, you say, wow, that was a good year. that was the acquisition of NetSuite. So we now have over 31,000 cloud application customers. And this is very interesting, that of our Fusion application customers, 3/4 of them do not have other Oracle applications. It's not that we moved all of our e-business suite customers from on-premise to Fusion. We've done some of that, but a lot remains to be done. A lot of these are brand new customers to Oracle Corporation. All right. 12,000 new Fusion customers in the last 5 years. That's pretty spectacular growth. And over the 5-year period that we've kind of been in this business, we now have over 30,000. 30,000 true cloud customers running our applications. And we're adding lots and lots of customers because we're investing very heavily in building applications, building new technologies to enhance those applications, both at the application layer and at the infrastructure layer. So we've doubled the number of cloud apps over during that 5-year period. We have twice as many as we used to. Okay, lots and lots of customers. It's very interesting that Ferrari is listed above Ford. Of course, Ferrari is a much higher volume car company than Ford. You could tell it was a 1%er who made these slides. What can I say? The interesting thing is my favorite car happens to be a Ford. It really does. It's called a Ford GT. Not a Mustang GT, a Ford GT. It's even more of a 1%er car than the Ferrari. Anyway, Cummins, these are big brands. Textron, Ford, Cummins, Emerson, Ferrari. These are big brands using our Fusion applications. AT&T, NBC, British Telecom, Cox Communications. We have lots and lots of large customers. Wells Fargo's listed here, giant bank, HSBC, even bigger bank. But there are a whole bunch of banks that really don't want to be mentioned. They are in the midst, some are in the midst of converting from SAP to Oracle. And until that's done, they don't want us to talk about them. But we have lots and lots of large conservative organizations that are in the process of moving to the cloud. This is no longer early days. This is a period we're seeing a sudden acceleration as we see customers wanting to modernize their systems, wanting to modernize their business practices, moving from older systems to modern cloud systems. And again, we think this is a gigantic opportunity for us. McKesson, the big drug distributor, I'm not going to read them all out to you, but we have lots and lots of Fusion application customers. Okay, still more. BMW, of course, is listed first. Though my favorite on this list is the Mack truck. My 2.5-year-old absolutely loves Mack trucks, not interested in BMWs at all. Again, lots and lots of applications. Veritas was very interesting. Veritas was a huge Salesforce customer with a highly customized Salesforce system. I think something like 500 customizations in the Salesforce system, and they migrated to Oracle Sales. So it's not all ERP. It's ERP, HCM, CX, Sales, Service. Lots and lots of different customers. I'll just keep going. Still more customers. Vodafone, I think they're still the largest mobile phone operator in Europe. ANZ Bank, again, huge number of customers. Bimbo, if you had an English muffin for breakfast, I promise you Bimbo baked it. Bimbo is the largest baking company. They're a huge company in Mexico, great customer of ours, and they're the world's largest baker. So I had an English muffin for breakfast because I'm so grateful to Bimbo for running our stuff. And Duke University and Stanford University and all these other places, the University of Wyoming. Okay. This is interesting. These are some of our SAP replacements. Siemens Nixdorf, right in the heart of Germany. Santander, very big financial services, very big bank. Cox Communications, Major League Baseball. So the rate at which these systems are going in, the ability to get, from the time you sign the contract to the time you go live, is not lots of years. Now it's lots of months. It's a big difference than the systems that came before. Even our systems, this goes in much more quickly for much less money than our earlier on-premise systems. In HCM, SAP replacements, at SAIC and Dish Networks, again, I'm sure you don't want me to read them all to you. Okay, product updates. So I said we started with discrete manufacturing. The manufacturing suite was kind of the last. Financials and HCM came on stream, then sales and service, and kind of the last stuff to come on. Then supply chain, and the last stuff to come online has been manufacturing. And we're just finishing filling out our manufacturing suite right now. We started with discrete manufacturing. That's like computers. Everything's the same. iPhone, perfect example. Every iPhone's like every other iPhone. Or at least it's supposed to be, or very close. Process manufacturing is a little bit different. It's like making ice cream or California's unique brand of gasoline. All of those have to be blended and monitored by a process manufacturing system. And California has different gasoline than Nevada. So, I mean, you run different batches. You have low sugar chocolate chip ice cream, and you have regular chocolate chip ice cream. So, same thing. We have process manufacturing. We have project manufacturing. Project manufacturing, something like a school district orders computers from Dell, and they take a lot of stuff out of it to get the lowest possible price. And they come up with a configuration Dell doesn't normally make. They sign a contract. Dell has to change some things in their manufacturing line, and they run this batch. The Army makes the same thing from Dell, but now Dell makes a militarized version, but they want to change several things in the militarized version, and they have a project to do that. And we manage the project as well as the manufacturing process. We manage both. Channel revenue management is simply the relationship between a distributor and the supplier. So let's say you distribute Dell computers, and Dell says, "Hey, I'm going to change microprocessors in this laptop, and I want to get rid of the existing inventory of microprocessors. So I'm going to cut the price by $100 on the laptop, or $50 then on the laptop. I have this promotion," and revenue management helps you manage that promotion to capture all of those laptops that you sell and make sure you get your $50 discount from Dell, who instigated the promotion. So just managing those processes. Mixed mode manufacturing. Mixed mode's interesting. I'll be quick. You blend the chocolate chip ice cream. So many chocolate chips, so much cream, so much blah blah. But then, and that's a process, that's process manufacturing. But then you put the ice cream and you create ice cream bars and quarts of ice cream and half gallons of ice cream. And those are discrete products. So manufacturers have to do this mixed mode. People are saying, this is why I came to this presentation. I want to know about how hard it is to make ice cream bars. And what is the underlying technology for ice cream bars? It is mixed mode manufacturing. Now you know. Now you know. It is mixed mode manufacturing, and we do it. And by the way, other people don't, so it's good. So should sell a lot of it. The quality is built in. So some people get quality reports in the end, and they say, "Hey, I had this problem." We have with Internet of Things, we have sensors on all the sampling the blends in the process. Checking the machinery to make sure things are working smoothly. So if you have a quality problem, we discover it not after the fact, but while you're making the product. And you can, if this is your policy, you can stop the line, do root cause analysis, fix the problem, never ship anything that's bad. And we do that with a combination of our IoT and, of course, what else? Machine learning. All right, process manufacturing, new to Oracle, very important for our customers. Project manufacturing, example, I want to create this new militarized version of a laptop. I have to have new casing. I have to find new suppliers. I used to have an aluminum case. Now I have this ruggedized plastic case. When I make this stuff, I got to track the costs by project and do all of those things. It's complicated, but we actually have a project management system in our application suite. We have a manufacturing system in our application suite. It takes advantage of both for project manufacturing, creates the tasks in projects, stripes the different supplies by project, does the right costing, the right accounting, and runs the project and collects when you actually deliver. And we also do this thing called percent complete. So you can actually bill as you deliver part of the project until you get to the last bill when you're 100% complete. We can now automate all of that. We can now do all of that. Channel management is exactly what I said. Dell said, get rid of these laptops. I'll give you $50 back. Very important for the distributor to keep track of this. And what we do is we don't make Dell write you a check for $50. We just, in our accounting system, we say, okay, we sold 1,000 of these. So Dell, I'm lowering what I owe you by $50,000. So we just create a debit memo for that. All done inside because our manufacturing system is tightly integrated with our accounting system and our inventory system. And all these applications are engineered to work together. Accounting, manufacturing, project management. It's why it's so important to have a suite of applications where those applications are engineered to work one with another. All right, so we have some announcements. First announcement is CX Unity. We're launching CX Unity. We got our first customers who are AT&T and Shopback. And this is the idea. We're taking all of your customer information, whether it's inside of your internal systems, like there are orders from customers, service requests from customers, how much you billed the customer, all of these things, information you have about the customer, opportunities you have with that customer in the sales system, all of this stuff that you have, and we're blending that with intelligence from a variety of sources, external sources. You can use DataFox, which is one of our sources, but you can use whatever you want to accumulate information about the customer and put it in one place. Thus the name Customer Unity, Customer Experience Unity. Okay, in fact, we've taken our own marketing system, our B2B marketing system called Eloqua, and we've integrated that with DataFox. So when you're running a marketing campaign, you suddenly get all of this DataFox real-time intelligence about that particular customer. So it's a greatly enhanced experience from what you had before without this intelligence and what you have now. Again, it's very important that our applications work together. One thing I haven't mentioned much about is the fact that Oracle's also in the data business. And we make that data available to our applications in the same sense that we make underlying technologies available to the application. So we make machine learning is there at the infrastructure level to be exploited by the applications. Data is there at the data level to be exploited by the applications. So you'll see us taking advantage of not only technology, but also information, data that's stored in our cloud. And this is very, very cool. It's a voice-enabled, it's actually our digital assistant that is automating our sales automation system. So again, once again, it's a blending of things. It's an example of our underlying enterprise digital assistant, that capability to talk to the system, and sales automation, but now the sales automation can be done by voice. And also you get the data from DataFox about the prospect, so you get information from the prospect coming in, into your sales system, giving you a notification. You can then respond to that notification, talk about the team, what your strategy is. You can even schedule a meeting. You can go in with the same voice interface and increase the likelihood of close of this one particular deal based on the information you just got, and you're simply talking to the enterprise digital assistant interfacing with our sales automation system, taking advantage of insights provided by data and our analytics. Okay, so you see all the pieces, again, all the pieces are designed to work together where the sum is greater, the total is greater than the sum of the parts. I mean, there's just tremendous synergies across technologies, across data. Human resources, event-based processes. This is in our applications. There might be statutory reasons you have a different process in sending out commissions in Germany than in the UK, because there are different laws about how people are supposed to be paid. Well, now you can configure the applications by geography. So you can have multiple processes in place inside of our HR applications, inside of virtually all of our applications. And they can be separated by a geography. Okay, we're going to pay commissions in Germany this way, in the UK slightly differently, at different times, let's say. We have 2 more weeks or an extra month in the UK, we don't have an extra month in Germany. Different lines of business, you have just different policies as to what you do. And so different lines of businesses can have different processes, different role, different people, what level they are in the organization, go through different processes to do the same thing because they're at a different level in the organization. They can shortcut some of the processes. You can now configure our systems to do that. As the processes change, there's a graceful way of informing people that the process has changed. If the process includes some things that are not automated by the Oracle applications, and you have to go outside the application to do something, it's still part of the process that you're informed about. It's visible to you in the applications. So all the stuff that we automate and you have to do, step 1, 2, 3, and 5, is in the process. But step 4, which means it could be a manual process. You might have to log on to a government system and file a tax return. We could do that automatically for you, by the way. That's a bad example. But you might have to, you might have to go in to the DMV and get your truck driver's license extended, and that's part of the process. And you get you want to get promoted, and you're a driver. You want to get promoted. You want to drive bigger trucks. You have to go ahead and do this. That's part of the process. You have to go take a class. You have to do something like that outside. It's still documented in our process, even though we don't automate that particular component. It's all there and it's all visible to people. All right, technology. I've said this a few times, but it's very important. We're in both businesses, applications and infrastructure. And if you want to, data, though I think of data as kind of an extension of the applications business, you can think of it as somewhat discretely different. All of our applications, again, all of our applications are either running on or in the process of being moved to the autonomous database. One of the things, what's interesting is we have thousands and thousands of ERP customers. Each ERP customer has very different characteristics of the database for ERP. Some of them are small, some of them are huge. Well, the autonomous database will tune each one of those instances separately. No human being could ever do that. That would be ridiculous. But the autonomous database can. And there are lots of other benefits to the autonomous database. So everything's going to the autonomous database. All of our analytics are not kind of built. They're not part of the application. They're part of the application taking advantage of what's in our analytics cloud. You can extend the applications. I'm repeating myself, but you use the same tools that we use. We have a bunch of pre-built integrations. So you can, in our integration library, you can integrate our applications with SAP, with Salesforce, with applications some of us have never heard of. We have a large library of integrations that allow you to connect one application with another. I've mentioned our analytics. We have and I'll go into our analytics in more detail, the multiple levels of security and, of course, the autonomous database. All right, our analytics. Very proud of these. The Oracle Analytics Cloud is in the Oracle Public Cloud, and a set of tools I'll describe. We also have an analytics server, for our on-premise customers, and we have specialized analytics that we've implemented directly on top of our Fusion applications. So we've actually taken our analytics technology and built this thing called the Fusion, and I demonstrated it last year, the Fusion Data Warehouse, directly on top of our Fusion applications. All right, so we have our traditional analytics, self-service analytics, where we compete with a lot of things like what Salesforce just bought Tableau for self-service analytics. But maybe the most exciting stuff we have, I like it all, but maybe the most exciting stuff we have is stuff that's intelligent, the stuff we built with machine learning, the ability to gain these insights for it to look at the data and discover patterns in the data that might be a little difficult for you to see. Discover outliers and anomalies and all of those things that a computer can do better than human beings. All right, so clearly we do dashboards, pixel perfect reports, and they literally are pixel perfect. You have complete control of every pixel. We have data preparation tools, visual data preparation tools that make it easier for you to cleanse and transform your data. We have voice interfaces and chatbots and natural language interfaces. We have one click explain which will allow you, if the analytic system discovers a correlation between data in column 1 and data in column 2. And they'll explain it to you in natural English. They'll tell you exactly what it is. No PhD required, but as the slide says, if you have PhD, it's also great for you. We'll let you, bring your own models or develop your own models and train your models and do all of those things with our tools. Okay, so open connectivity. Our analytics analyze data from any source. I mean, obviously the Oracle database, but also the Mongo database and the block storage system and AWS's block storage and Microsoft's block storage, Azure. We will look at all of your data, Hadoop data. It doesn't matter. We really can look at any data source. We're data source agnostic. And we then let you mash up that data, combine that data any way you want to, and look at the results of the mashup. In some cases where we know the semantic model, we understand the data a little better. Like in Fusion applications, we really can. It's very, very easy to use. It's really easy to use. We understand the semantics. We can tell you a lot about the information that's there with very little effort on your part. Okay. All right, data preparation. We have a visual tool for ingesting, cleansing, and transforming data. Ingesting used to be, a couple years ago, was known as loading. Loading is not nearly as cool a word, but actually there's a reason to change it to ingest because a lot of it is telemetry based rather than you loading a file. It's a little more complicated because now you got all this IoT information flying off sensors into the system. So it probably was right to go to a little cuter word that had broader meaning. Okay, so we have a visual system that allows you to do that. If you want to define your own customization, your own custom transformations, you can use whatever language you want. You can do mathematical transformations with R or use the Python programming language or SQL, whatever you want to use. Lots of visualizations are built into this. We're especially good, I think it's fair to say, we're especially good at geospatial, both visualizing the geospatial data and quickly and running very, very fast on geospatial data because geospatial is native to the Oracle database. If it's an Oracle database, we actually can just function ship. We send the query directly to the database. It will produce all the data we need to populate the visualization, so it's very, very fast. This is an example of visualization, and this is kind of comparing GDP to government income. And I'll go back and look at it. Actually, it's easier for me to read back here, kind of, but I think I know the data. The interesting thing is, in every case, the government income seems to be growing a little, on average, a little faster than GDP, except that the yellow bits, and the yellow bits are in China and India, where the economy is actually growing faster than the size of the government, which is interesting. This is looking at discrete sales transactions and plotting out the individual sales events and then grouping them together to say, some of it's high tech, some of it's public sector, where is the revenue coming from, and giving you a map. This is the DC Metro showing passenger flow on different lines in the DC Metro. This is interesting. This is the FIFA World Cup, and it showed just how dominant the United States was. Turned out it was a very, very popular television event, in spite of the fact that the USA was so dominant, and had, I think second most number of average goals was 2. The French, the Germans were averaging 2, and the US not quite double, but close to double that. It was kind of extraordinary, and you can single out a particular player or a particular size of transaction or whatever you want to, and call that out too. Okay, this is something like our show floor, and this is kind of showing you the map of the show floor, and analyzing, how much of it is smartphones, how much it is other advanced devices, and kind of breaking down, giving you a visual analysis of what the show floor looks like. Okay, and of course you can do regression analyses and all sorts of fancy statistical functions with the data. I mean, that's not the hard part. The hard part is usually finding the data. Okay, AI-powered analysis. Ask whatever you want. Machine learning and natural language interfaces on everything. Uncover hidden insights and actually take an action. Communicate with someone on your team, share the information with someone on your team. The AI, the analytics system will actually notice that you're asking for this kind of report, this time of month, this time of report, this kind of month. And as you start to, and the AI system will notice a pattern in your behavior for requesting reports and intelligence and alerts. And you won't have to ask for them again. They'll simply show up in your feed that time of month or that time of the quarter, again, without asking. And if you collaborate, I'm collaborating with Mark and Safra and some other people. The people I collaborate with around this kind of data will also get that in their queues. Of course, they don't want it. They can say, don't send me that anymore. But that's how the system adapts, remembers what you asked for, gives you the information again before you even have to ask, and allow you to collaborate with your peers so you can take action on these insights. Okay, so the natural language voice interface and natural language processing, we support 28 languages, which is a lot. All of this stuff is integrated into the Oracle Digital Assistant. We have our own digital assistant, but we interface to third-party messaging systems also. I mean, if you prefer, you can use Alexa, or you can use Slack, or you can use Google Home, or you can use Microsoft Teams. We actually went to our own digital assistant because we had to train it on a really different vocabulary than, let's say, a consumer device would have. Turn on the lights, raise the shades is very different than give me days sales outstanding for this product. It's a very different thing that the digital assistant has to understand. It's a very different vocabulary, a different set of contexts. And as we had to train the digital assistant, it turns out that the training for the consumer devices, while very good, was not adequate for our needs, where we have very different vocabularies in business, in manufacturing, on the manufacturing floor, in aerospace engineering. Lots of different vocabularies that we have to support that the consumer devices don't necessarily have to support. All right, data enrichment. We will actually give you recommendations. We'll show you correlations. We'll give you recommendations. We actually can recognize just by looking at the data what kind of data it is. We can tell an address. We can tell a social security number. We can tell a credit card just by looking at the data, a column of the data, and you can tell it what it is. So we understand the semantics just by looking at the data, which can be very helpful. I mean, I think we'd all like to go out and find every instance of social security cards, every instance of credit cards, to make sure that that data is masked or obscured and secure, always encrypted, and be very careful about that. The system can help you. The system can help you do that. Again, I've talked about hidden insights. The great thing about this system, it has kind of business user level and the data science level, as both of those both levels of user are supported. It will again show you correlations between columns. It will show you outliers and anomalies. It will do all of those things just by looking at the data. You don't have to specify models, algorithms, do training, do any of that stuff. However, if you want to, we support that too. Again, I think I've said this, it all gets personalized. It knows what you look at, it knows who you collaborate with, the system learns who you collaborate with, the system learns what information is important to you, what information you keep looking at, and it sends you that information on your smartphone as a daily feed. You always are getting some set of information about the business, the part of the business that you particularly care about. Thousands of customers in the cloud. These are not our on-premise customers. We've got thousands and thousands of customers in the cloud. I'm certainly not going to read that slide. You know, that would be madness. Okay, Fusion Analytics, the analytic data warehouse. I demonstrated this last year. So we automatically take the data out of Fusion and put it into the autonomous database, and we have pre-built reports. Let me try to go through this quickly. And we have, on top of the data warehouse, we have all sorts of reports and analyses built on top of it. Works on your mobile device, of course. We have key performance indicators, dashboards, role-based security. And the really cool thing about this is it doesn't have to be just Fusion data. It can be Fusion data plus whatever other data you want to mix with it. So we'll keep that Fusion data current. We'll automatically, the pipeline between the Fusion applications and the Fusion data warehouse will constantly keep that data current. And that will happen automatically. You can then bring in Salesforce data, SAP data, one of your custom systems, you know, other data feeds, whatever you want, and you create this mashup, this data warehouse. You can put whatever you want to put in it. You can put in it. Whatever on analytics you want to run, whatever analyses, statistical analyses you want to run, you can run on the combination of the Fusion data and whatever other data you add. I mean, that's a big difference between what you can do with the analytics built into the Fusion applications. The applications have a great set of analytics built into them, but the analytics inside Fusion applications looks at the data inside the Fusion applications. When you bring in the Fusion data warehouse, you now can get all the Fusion data mixed and mashed with all your other data that's important, and you can get reports on that. Okay, so that's what I just said. Again, lots of subject areas based on lots of, we have 15 different subject areas on over 100 different data warehouse tables. Lots of KPIs for financials. Lots of reports for financials. And okay, so. Okay, so again, these are the integrations. I've said this already. These are all of the integrations you can connect the Fusion applications to SAP, to Salesforce, and so on, directly out of our integration library. You use the same tools. We use. And when I say the same tools we use, what I mean, not simply Visual Builder. You get the development environment for Visual Builder, but if you want to add voice interfaces to your extensions, you get voice interfaces in your extensions. If you want to use machine learning in your extensions, you get actionable insights and machine learning in your extensions. You use the same tool set, including machine learning, including mobile, including voice, the same exact tools we use to build the applications in the first place. Okay. The digital assistant, again, It's extensible. The digital assistant, I think there's the complete list of interfaces. You use our digital assistant, or you can, if you prefer, you can front-end it with Alexa or Google Home or Siri or whatever else. Okay. Obviously, it's all mobile. All right. I'm just trying to time things. All right. It's looking better. We're very proud of a great new user interface called Redwood that applies to all of our, that we're moving, just like all the applications are moving to the autonomous database. All the applications are going to take advantage of our new UI called Redwood. But not just our applications, our Oracle.com website, everything is kind of going to this look and feel. So, thank you, Hillel, thank you, Jenny, thank you, Mamie. It's been a lot of work, but great job. Great job. Okay, I don't know if you can see those, but in the upper left, that's the new website on a PC. That's the new website on a mobile phone. Okay. All right. The application's security. Secure by design. I've mentioned several times, can't mention it too often. Application layer security, database layer security, infrastructure security. All right. I got a few more references and then I'm done. Okay, so Veritas, again, replaced Salesforce. I was wrong. I said about 5,000 customizations. Veritas had over almost 10,000. That's mind-boggling, actually. 10,000 customizations in a cloud system. We swapped them out. Cummins, Hilton, all of these guys, Macy's consolidated 1,800 processes down to 200. Got rid of 90% of them. Moleskine improved their e-commerce performance by a factor of 10. By a factor of 10. Again, I've got a lot of these. Cummins cut reporting time and effort by 95% by moving to the cloud. We have a lot of happy cloud customers. Cummins accelerated talent review time by 83%. What are some other interesting ones here? AXA Bank achieved a dramatic improvement in data accuracy. Western Digital reduced number of suppliers by 50% by getting getting rid of suppliers who are not performant. We have, again, thousands of customers who have had great success in the Oracle Cloud, and we're looking forward to tremendous growth going forward. Orange reduced customizations from over 500 to 0 as they moved to the cloud, and allowed them to cut a third of their costs. I'm done. Thank you very much.